Hey everyone, and welcome back to the English Leap podcast, your favorite English podcast for learning English through slow, real-life conversations that help you speak naturally and think clearly. I'm Erin.
And I'm Evan. And today, this episode, it's not just about English. It's about life. It's about that invisible wall we all build around ourselves, the one we call our comfort zone.
Let's be honest. Most of us are waiting to finally lose the weight, to start over, to speak English fluently, to change, but not taking the first step.
Exactly. And here's the truth nobody likes to say out loud. Your comfort zone is the prison where your potential goes to sleep.
Whew. I felt that. Because this is a much-needed episode. If you've ever said, someday, or felt stuck, then maybe it's not motivation you need. Maybe it's the courage to do the thing that scares you a little bit.
So today, we're sharing the real story of what happens when you quit your comfort zone, what it actually feels like, how it shakes you, and how it transforms you.
And, of course, we'll be speaking in slow, clear English, perfect for listening, shadowing, and building fluency with real emotion, not textbook drills.
Oh, and stay till the end for our vocabulary breakdown, where our lovely Crystal will slow things down and guide you through 10 to 12 powerful words and expressions we secretly introduce during the episode.
It's our favorite trick here at the English Leap podcast, teaching real, natural English without making it feel like school. Basically, we're pulling you out of your comfort zone, and you didn't even notice.
Haha, yep, learning English while leveling up your mindset? That's our sweet spot.
So if you're ready to stop making excuses, speak English with confidence, and finally do that thing you've been putting off for way too long.
Grab your headphones, take a breath. It's time to leave your comfort zone and step into the life that's waiting for you.
You know what's crazy? Most of us don't even realize we're inside a comfort zone until something goes wrong. Like, life feels okay, not bad, not amazing, just neutral. And you tell yourself, it's fine. But deep down, you're slowly shrinking.
Yep, comfort zones don't feel like a trap because they're comfortable. But that's exactly the problem. We stay in jobs we don't like, relationships that don't grow, routines that don't challenge us, all because we don't want to feel discomfort. But guess what? That same comfort is quietly stealing your potential.
I remember when I realized mine. I was waking up, going through the same day over and over. Eat, work, scroll, sleep. I wasn't unhappy, but I wasn't alive either. It was like being stuck on autopilot. And that feeling? That quiet frustration? That's the alarm bell telling you, it's time.
Exactly. Mine hit during a weight gain phase. I kept telling myself, I'll get back in shape later. But later never came. And each time I avoided doing something hard, like going for a run or saying no to junk food, my confidence dropped. That's the thing. The longer you stay in your comfort zone, the smaller your self-belief becomes.
So true. And that leads us right into what we're going to share today. A mindset, a strategy, a real plan to escape that slow trap and build something strong.
We're going to break it all down. But here's the core idea. Change doesn't need to be a giant leap. It just needs to be consistent. And science says that doing something for 21 days starts forming a habit. So, if you break your transformation into 3 21-day blocks, that's 63 days. You don't just start something, you become someone else.
I love that. And let's be clear, this isn't just for people trying to lose weight. This is for anyone who's trying to start something. Maybe speaking English fluently, maybe starting a business, maybe just waking up earlier. The strategy is the same. One step at a time.
In the next 3 points, we're going to walk you through each 21-day phase, what to expect, what to feel, and how it worked for us. But before we move on, let's talk about the number 21. Why is it special?
Because 21 days is just enough to push your brain to recognize something new, but not too long to feel overwhelming. It's like tricking your mind into building a new normal. It's long enough to stretch you, but short enough to believe in.
And once you see results after 21 days, even the smallest ones, that pushes you to keep going. Compliments start coming in. Your posture changes. You look in the mirror and say, "Wait, I'm really doing this."
This phase is all about momentum. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up. For me, when I started my English fluency challenge, I told myself, just speak for 5 minutes a day. That's it. No pressure. But I did it every day. And that little promise, it made me proud.
Same for me with fitness. I didn't start with 5 a.m. runs or lifting heavy weights. I started by walking for 20 minutes and skipping sugar with dinner. It felt too easy. But that was the point. You build trust with yourself. And when you keep those small promises, your brain goes, maybe we can do this.
But let's not sugarcoat it. The first week feels weird. You question everything. Why am I doing this? Who am I trying to be? But if you push through that, just that early resistance, you'll notice a shift by week 2.
By day 15, I remember feeling lighter, not just in body, but in energy. People hadn't noticed yet, but I did. And that was enough, because I started believing I could make real change.
Exactly. This stage is less about results and more about identity. You're proving to yourself that you're not someone who quits anymore.
And that wraps up the first 21. But don't go anywhere, because in the next point, we're going to share what happens after the honeymoon phase, when people start to see the change.
All right. So you've made it through the first 21 days. That's big. But now comes the interesting part. Days 22 to 42. This is where people around you start to notice the difference.
Oh yeah, I still remember, somewhere around week 4, one of my coworkers said, "Hey, you're looking more energetic these days. Doing something new?" And I just smiled, because inside, I was on fire. Not because I looked better, but because someone saw a change I was feeling.
Yes. And for me, it was when my speaking confidence in English started showing. I wasn't translating in my head anymore. I was just speaking. And someone in class said, "Your English is flowing better lately." That moment? It was everything. It wasn't a compliment. It was proof that this was working.
That's the power of the second 21 days. You're not just trying anymore. You're becoming. Your routines feel less forced. People validate the change. And your mind? It begins to crave that momentum.
But, and this is important, this is also when the temptation to slow down kicks in. You feel good, so your brain says, maybe we can relax now. But that's the trap. This isn't the finish line. It's the foundation.
Exactly. If you push through this phase, you're not chasing change anymore. You're living it. And that brings us to the final stage, the transformation that sticks.
This is when something powerful happens. Your new habits don't feel like habits anymore. they feel like you. You don't wake up and say, "Ugh, I need to study English." You wake up and want to do it.
Right? It's not a task. It's a rhythm, a groove. Your environment starts working with you. People talk to you differently. You walk differently. You even think differently. Because you've proven something to yourself. And your brain responds.
There's a beautiful line I read once. First, it's hard. Then it's routine. Then it's part of who you are. That's exactly what the final 21 days feel like. Not dramatic, not loud, just peaceful, powerful consistency.
And I'll tell you this, during this phase, the most surprising thing happened. I started helping other people. A colleague asked me for fitness tips. A friend asked how I was staying consistent. And I realized I had become the kind of person I used to look up to.
Wow, I love that. Because that's the real transformation. Not just changing your habits, but expanding your identity. Your brain gets rewired. Your comfort zone isn't the old you anymore. It's the new you.
Let's pause here, because this last point, it's the heart of the entire journey. You didn't just quit your comfort zone, you built a mind that follows through. A mind that doesn't wait for motivation. It moves with momentum.
Exactly. You've trained your brain to trust you, to show up, even when it's hard, even when nobody's clapping. And that trust, that's everything.
And here's what's beautiful. Somewhere along the way, without even noticing, you've built an identity. You've created a new normal. And this new life, it becomes your new comfort zone.
But this time, it's a comfort zone you earned.
Yes, it's no longer a place of hiding. It's a place of strength. A zone you stepped into, not one you stayed stuck in.
And that's the real win. You're no longer stuck in someday. You're living in right now. Even when the spark fades, the strength stays.
So whether you're on day 1, day 44, or just trying to believe in yourself again,
Remember, you've already done harder things than this.
and the life that's waiting for you,
It's not far. It's just one step beyond your comfort zone. And now that we've stepped all the way out of our comfort zones,
it's time to slow things down and let the words sink in.
here's Crystal with your vocabulary breakdown from today's episode. Trust me, this is the part where real learning locks in.
Take it away, Crystal.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Evan. And hello again, my lovely friends. You made it to the end of a powerful episode. And now let's slow down and gently look at some of the important words that appeared during the conversation. These are not just vocabulary words. They are ideas, emotions, reflections of real life. We'll go one by one, slowly, clearly, with calm. Let's begin. Comfort. Comfort is the feeling of peace, safety, and ease. It's when everything feels soft and familiar. Example. After a long day at work, he changed into his pajamas and felt instant comfort. Let's say it together. Comfort. Comfort is beautiful, but staying there too long can stop you from growing. Now let's move on to a word that describes what happens when you finally see something clearly. Realize. To realize means to suddenly understand something, to have a moment of truth. Example. She realized she had been comparing herself to others too much. Say it gently with me. Realize. Sometimes realizing something small can lead to big changes. Let's take another step into the calm middle space of things. Neutral. Neutral means not taking a side. not strong or weak, not yes or no, just balanced. Example, he stayed neutral during the family argument to avoid conflict. Whisper it softly. Neutral. Sometimes staying neutral gives you space to think clearly. Now here's a word that speaks to your power, even if you haven't used it yet. Potential. Potential means what you can become, your hidden strength or talent. Example, the teacher saw potential in the quiet boy who loved to draw. Let's say it together. Potential. You don't have to show it today, just know it's there. Let's go deeper into what happens when your potential turns into change. Transformation. Transformation is a deep, powerful change, a new version of you. Example, after spending a year abroad, she went through a real transformation. Say it slowly. Transformation. Change isn't instant, but it's always possible. Now, let's talk about how you plan for that transformation. Strategy. A strategy is a smart plan, a way to reach a goal. Example, he made a study strategy to prepare for his exams without stress. Repeat after me. Strategy. Without a strategy, even big dreams can feel confusing. Next, let's look at the word that means to see things as they really are. Recognize. To recognize means to notice and understand, to know something again. Example, she didn't recognize her old self in that photo. She had changed so much. Say it softly. Recognize. Recognizing who you are is the first step to who you can be. Now, a word that many of us feel when life feels like too much. Overwhelm. To overwhelm means to feel like there's too much to handle in your mind, body, or heart. Example, he felt overwhelmed by the number of messages and deadlines at work. Let's breathe through this one. Overwhelm. It's okay to pause. You don't need to do it all at once. Let's soften the mood now with a word that lifts your spirit. Compliment. A compliment is a kind, positive thing someone says about you. Example, her classmate gave her a compliment on her new glasses. Say it warmly. Compliment. A small compliment can bring a big smile. And finally, let's talk about a big, beautiful word. Identity. Identity is who you are, your values, your personality, your story. Example, moving to a new country helped him shape his own identity. Let's say it slowly. Identity. And remember, you're allowed to grow. You're allowed to change. These aren't just English words. They are words for your journey, your growth, your becoming. Repeat them. Feel them. Let them stay with you. Until next time. I'm Crystal, and I'll be right here, cheering you on every gentle step of the way.
Thank you, Crystal. And thank you for joining us today.
We hope this episode gave you something real to hold on to.
Take care of yourself and keep stepping forward.
We'll see you in the next one.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.